Arena City is a city within a city. It was meant for those who live in the suburbs but work in the city to live where they work. It has a residential area, a bowling alley, grocery store, and 13 floors of valet parking. Whoa! And only twice in the history of these buildings has a car fallen out into the river. But don't worry folks, both times were on purpose. The first being for a movie starring Steve McQueen entitled The Hunter, and the second being for an Allstate Chaos commercial. Alright folks, so right now we're on State Street, that great street, as Sinatra was saying. And I assure you folks, I will not be singing on this tour. I don't want to hurt your ears or anything. And we'll be starting off State Street by looking just ahead of you, and we'll be under, right above us, is the beautiful L line. Now the L, also known as EL, is a public transit here in Chicago. We have 8 different lines, each with their own distinct color. And in fact, folks, right now there's a train above us. Each one of those cars weighing under 1 ton. Kind of a scary thought, huh? Now Chicago is proud to be one of the only cities in the world that have both of the, one of the only cities in the U.S. that have both of the airports connected by train. So if you want to go to Midway Airport, take the orange line. Or if you want to go to O'Hare Airport, take the blue line. And I do recommend going on either one of these lines. So you experience the rest of Chicago and not just the downtown area. You can visit neighborhoods like Chinatown, Little Italy, Greektown, and more. We have specific neighborhoods designed for specific cultures. And all of them are absolutely fantastic. Now State Street, the street that we're on right now, is actually the cheaper of the 2 shopping districts here in downtown Chicago. The more lavish one being the Magnificent Mile. Over by stop number 12 and 13. So if you want to go shopping, then I recommend getting off at stop either 12 or 13 and walking up and down the Magnificent Mile. Now coming up on your left, you'll see the gorgeous Chicago Theater. Now the Chicago Theater was built in 1927 and was originally supposed to be a movie theater. But when they closed down in the mid-1900s, they reopened up as live entertainment. In fact, the Rat Pack was actually their opening act, and that was the last time they actually played all together. And you can see the beautiful Chicago Theater on your left. And in fact, on most days at noon, they have a tour that you can take of the theater, which I do recommend checking out. You can learn more about the gorgeous theater, its marquee sign, and more. Will anybody be getting off for stop number 2, State Street? Anybody off for stop 2? Alright, looks like we're good up here.
Here. Stand up. Stand up, and you gotta stand right here.
Alright, so we're cruising on down. Please mind our dust. We are actually doing renovations to the city. So all over, you'll see examples of construction and also restoration work on all of our buildings.
You didn't say anything? Fentanyl? Describe description of you.
So up ahead, you may be able to see a building with a lot of American flags on the very front. That is actually the Marshall Fields building. Now the building that you see before, with the flags in front, is actually the 3rd version of Marshall Fields building. Now the Marshall Field Company was not only a prominent company all throughout the 1900s, but also in the 1800s. And in fact, they made their first building in 1870. But unfortunately, it had been had been destroyed due to the Great Chicago Fire. So they rebuilt a second one in 1891 and was closer to State Street. Closer to Michigan Avenue. And that too has been burned down. So this is the third version, and hopefully it doesn't burn down. But another Marshall Field building is a gorgeous building, and it's currently owned by Macy's. So right now we're entering the Chicago Theater District, the highest density of theaters you'll find here in Chicago. In fact, coming up on your right, you'll see the Oriental Theater, also known as the Ford Center. The Ford Center is an iconic place to watch live theater and have such classics such as SpongeBob the Musical. And on your right, you'll find the Goodman. The Goodman Theater is one of our younger theaters, and they're our most education-focused theater here in Chicago. They teach different classes all throughout public schools here in Chicago, and have different events to teach us more about theater and more. So on your right, you'll find the Thompson Center. Now the Thompson Center is one of our most unique buildings here in Chicago because of its brownness and also its interior. The inside, all of these stores and all of the restaurants and more are actually on the outskirts of the building and ring around it like a donut. Now the Thompson Center is also known as the Atrium. And I do recommend checking it out if you have the time. And actually, if you go right inside and you can go directly up through the roof, because there's no flooring or doors blocking its way. So it's a very lovely place. And in fact, the Thompson Center was home to the Chicago Teachers Union strike of 2012, a famous strike where the teachers struck for an entire week for better wages and better conditions for our schools. Alright folks, so coming up, we're going to see the gorgeous Cadillac Palace Theater on your left. The Cadillac Palace is another iconic theater in this district. It was built in the 1930s. And right now they're having a showing of The Sound of Music, or will be coming up soon. Which I do recommend checking out one of our many shows. Folks, we just went underneath the L again. Now while you're here, throughout the store, you might hear me say something called the Loop. The Loop is actually our CTA, or our outline, that circles the downtown area of Chicago. And then branches off to the neighborhoods around it. So that loop is actually just the center circling part of the downtown area. And right now we are outside of the loop. We'll be entering it later on. Alright folks, so right now we'll be heading to Wacker Drive on our way to stop number 3, the Willis Tower. Now up ahead and we'll be on your right as we turn. You'll see a prime example of one of Chicago's many movable bridges. Now what I mean by movable bridges is that these bridges are very accommodating. They can not only support the heavy road traffic above, but can actually open up in the middle and make way for the river traffic below. Now the flexibility of these bridges is key to Chicago's survival, because not only can we have all the supplying of the river traffic, but also not block our road traffic above, so it makes it easier to navigate the city. Now if you're a huge fan of bridges or even the river, I do recommend going to the McCormick Bridge House and River Museum, which is at stop number 1. It is only $4 admission for Big Bus Club customers. So why not check it out? It's one of the smaller museums here in Chicago. And a little fun fact, maybe a little teaser for the museum, is that one motor for these bridges, and they have 2 motors, is comparable to a 1950s Volkswagen. That's a pretty small motor for a big bridge. And the reason why they're able to support such heavy bridges without much power from a motor is because of their series of gears, which is very unique. But don't worry, this won't be the only bridge we'll be seeing on our tour. We will be seeing a couple more. Alright folks, so we'll be edging our way to the outside of the theater district. And in fact, we're going to be ending this theater district with a bang, with a gorgeous building that will be on your right, called the Civic Theater, also known as the Chicago Lyric Opera House. Lyric Opera House is our key place to go to watch opera, classical theater, and ballet, all within the confines of this building. It has a gorgeous interior. And even if you're not going to a theater show, I do recommend just going in, looking at the gorgeous lobby, because it's so ornamental and beautiful, just like its exterior. Now the outside is made of that beautiful terracotta with an ornamental design, with a pink marble inlay, so it's gorgeous all around. Alright folks, so right now we'll be heading on up to the Willis Tower. Now the Willis Tower was completed in 1973 and was commissioned by the Sears Company. Now the Sears Company was a prominent company here in Chicago. And during its heyday, it had over 300,000 employees in Chicago alone. So they needed a building to accommodate all of their employees, thus leading to the creation of the Willis Tower. Now the Willis Tower is the tallest building here in Chicago. It is a whopping 1,500 feet tall. Now we have the Oprah Winfrey fans on the bus. It is about 584 Oprahs tall, or 634 Michael Jordans. Pick your choice. However, if you want to measure the Willis Tower, it is still scouring. So throughout the tour, you might hear me say the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower. But don't worry folks, I mean the exact same building. Every time I say the Sears Tower, it's just my Chicagoism coming out. Here in Chicago, we're very stubborn, and we don't often like to change the names. You don't see that all over the fields and at Macy's anymore. Alright folks, so on your left you'll see the famous Willis Tower. And if you look up, you'll notice that the Willis Tower has a very unique structure. It has different columns that end at different levels. It is actually called a bundle sequence. This means that each one of these columns supports its neighboring column and more. Now, when the architects were designing the Willis Tower, they were having a drink. And a man named Fazar Khan pulled out a pack of cigarettes and had a eureka moment when he saw all the cigarettes together. So yes folks, our beautiful Willis Tower is indeed, it also has a lot of fun. And on the 103rd floor, you'll find the Sky Deck. Now the Sky Deck is the highest observation point here in Chicago, without going on a helicopter of course. And on the 103rd floor, you'll find something called the Ledge, which are 4 glass boxes that just 4 feet away from the building. It is a terrifying experience, but I highly recommend trying it out. There you can actually literally walk over the city of Chicago. The Willis Tower is also home to the second fastest elevator in Chicago, being able to look from floor 1 to 103 in 60 seconds. So give it a shot. Try it out. Will anybody be getting off for the Willis Tower? Wait, hold on.
Eddie, are they able to come down now?
Alright, so we have to park up ahead. There's a taxi in our way. So we need to park. Alright, thank you though. Alright folks, so once our bus comes to a complete stop, this will be your stop for number 3, the Willis Tower. Thank you again for riding with us and have a great time.